Hello and welcome. Good morning. How are you doing today? Program 999. Cachimil. Almost 1,000. My God. Es que en chino 99 es cachichen. Pero 1,000 será cachimil. Okay. I don't know. Almost 1,000. 999. Capicúa, además. Yes, sir. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is the next to last. El penúltimo de los mohicanos. Mañana el último. All right, the last of the Mohicans is tomorrow. The last of the English classes. Yeah, has traído la mata suegra, no? The kill mother-in-law. And break out the champagne. You remember? We'll break out the champagne. Ya está bien, por fin, finally. El martirio, yeah, cruzando crossing the desert. All right, game fluency. Page 61, la bicicleta, the bike. Page 61, number 500 and paragraph number 535. His bicycle chain broke, and he's carrying the bike to the shop to get it repaired. He needs his bike to go to school every day. His mother doesn't have a car, and the bus doesn't stop in this area. All right. So this is a kid. This person is probably 14 years old, 15 years old. And he goes to school on his bike. He goes to school every morning on his bike and then goes home on his bike. He goes to school by bicycle. Pero sí suele decir más on my bike, on your bike, on his bike. Bicycles, bicycles, bicycles. I like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride my bike. I like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride it where I like. ¿Te suena? Sí, es Queen, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, it's a very good song. Bicicletas. Typical Freddie Mercury. Bicycles, bicycles, bicycles. I like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride my bike. I like to ride my bicycle. I like to ride it where I like. Llevarlo a donde quiera, donde me guste. Okay, where I like. It's a good song, by the way. Bicycle. And it's in the middle of the song, you can hear tring, 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 the bicycle bell. Tring, and 1,000 bicycle bells simultaneously. It's impressive. Yeah. Good group, Queen. Freddie Mercury was a very, very creative artist. Bike. But Freddie Mercury's bicycle chain, la cadena no se rompió, nunca. His bicycle chain didn't break. Yes, it didn't break. Bike. Bike. Bike is bicicleta. Pero bike también se usa, no bicycle, bike también se usa para moto, my bike. Motorbike, my bike. Yes. So, his bicycle chain broke, and he's carrying the bike to the shop to get it fixed. He is carrying the bike to the shop. Shop es el taller aquí. O puede ser tienda de bicicletas con taller. He's taking it to the shop to get it fixed. To fix is reparar, entre otras cosas. Fijar también. To fix. Fijar la fecha, to fix the date. Aunque se dice más to set. S-E-T, to set the date. To fix. To get it fixed. To get the bike fixed. To get it fixed. Aquí se dice to get it repaired. Los dos nos valen. To get it repaired. To have it repaired or to have it fixed. To get and to have. Para que se repare. Para que sea reparada. All right. Conseguirlo reparada es lo que decimos en inglés. O tenerla reparada, literalmente. Have it fixed, to have it repaired, to get it repaired. His bicycle chain broke, and he's carrying his bike. He's carrying the bike to the shop to get it fixed. He needs his bike. I need my bike, you need your bike, she needs her bike. He needs his bike. Why? to go to school every day. His mother doesn't have a car. And the school bus, doesn't stop near his house. Or doesn't stop in this area. Claro, estamos viendo al pobre chico llevando la bicicleta en brazos, digamos. I said, look, his bicycle chain broke. Look, his bicycle chain broke and he's carrying the bike to the shop to get it repaired. He needs his bike to go to school every day. His mother doesn't have a car. And the bus doesn't stop in this area. All right, so it's a dilemma. Because to walk to school would take over an hour. It would take, you see. This, I know the person. His name, I know, this paragraph I wrote remembering Tommy Tremaine. Tommy Tremaine. Now, it's interesting. I lived, as you know, I lived for about almost 10 years in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, Tulsa is a city. This is Tulsa, the city. People live here. Now, the school was near the edge of the city. The school was right here, okay? There was a school. I lived here. I lived about 20 minutes on foot from the school. And on my bike, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But Tommy Tremaine and his family lived here, outside of the city, in the country. They had a farm, una granja, una explotación agrícola. Only about 2 miles from the school. Now 2 miles is 3 kilometers. It's a pretty good distance. And so Tommy Tremaine took his bike. His mother didn't have a car because she was disabled. She was disabled. And she couldn't drive. And so Tommy and his sister both went to the school on their bikes. And the bus, the school bus, the route, well, there were 3 school buses, and their routes were in the city, not outside of the city, because they were living on a farm. I remember I went to his house once, and around the house was a electric fence. If you jump, there's an electric fence. Not because of potentially bad people, because of the animals. The animals wanted to come in. There were a lot of animals in this area. Deer, wild boar, jabalíes, and there are a lot of wild animals there. And that's the story of Tommy Tremaine. And his bicycle chain broke. Yeah. He was in my neighborhood, and the bicycle chain broke. And there was a bicycle shop, maybe 300 or 400 meters from where his bicycle chain broke. And he picked up that bicycle, Tommy Tremaine, and he carried that baby 400 meters to the shop to get it repaired because his mother couldn't drive. He needed his bicycle to go to school. All right, one more. The days are getting short as we approach Christmas. The days are getting short. También se puede decir shorter. Los días se están haciendo más cortos. The days se están haciendo cortos, o más cortos. The days are getting short as we approach Christmas. Según nos acercamos a las Navidades. As we approach, dos letritas, A-S, a medida que nos acercamos. As we approach Christmas. The days are getting short. as we approach Christmas, which means that I will start leaving home in the dark. Well, I'll start leaving home and getting home in the dark. I leave home at 7. I leave the office to go back home in the evening at 6:30. So basically 7, and I get home at 7. 7 to 7. I spend 12 hours out of the house, net hours. I leave at 7 and I arrive at 7. And as the days get shorter, as we approach Christmas, of course, there are fewer hours of sunlight. The days get shorter and shorter and shorter. So, now, soon, dice pronto, ¿no? It says soon, creo. Which means that I will start leaving, empezaré saliendo de casa en la oscuridad y volviendo. I'll start leaving home and getting home in the dark. That's very typical here in Spain. I would say 8 months out of the year, I leave home in the dark. Spain is 1 hour ahead of the sun in the winter and 2 hours ahead of the sun in the summer. So we don't have solar time. Solar time. I remember a poem from the 1930s by Vicente Alexandre, Premio Nobel, Spanish poet. And he is a poem about a mediodía a las 12. And he said, El sol en su cenit. I remember the poem. And that was at 12 o'clock. Which means when Vicente Alexandre wrote that poem, Spain was on solar time. So, 12 o'clock noon, straight up. But now, solar time is 2 o'clock. It's when the sun is straight up in the summer, 1 o'clock in the winter. But in any case, so as we approach Christmas, the days are getting short. To get short, hacerse más corto, to get shorter, as we approach Christmas, which means, lo cual significa, which means that I will start leaving home and getting home in the dark. There will be only about 8 hours of sunlight each day. Yes. And as you go farther north, conforme vas más al norte, peor. As you go farther north, it's worse. For example, in Madrid, it gets dark at Christmas, on the 21st of December. In Madrid, it gets dark at 6 o'clock. But in Bilbao, it gets dark at 5:45, because it's farther north. And if you go to Scotland, or to Oslo, to Stockholm, it gets dark at 4 o'clock. Noche cerrada, negro, a las 4:30. The days are very short. All right, so the days are getting short as we approach Christmas, which means I will start leaving home and getting home in the dark. Yes, there will be only about 8 hours of sunlight each day, every day, each day. There will be only 8 hours of sunlight every day and 16 hours of darkness. All right, 8 hours. I'll start leaving home and getting home, to leave home to get home, to leave home to get home. All right, salir de casa y llegar de nuevo a casa. To leave home and to get home. All right, we'll stop there. Grammar. How much time do we have, Marta? We have a lot of time. I'm going to do one more paragraph. Why not? Because I have some grammar I want to do. But I don't want to spend 10 minutes on that. One more. Only 11% of the people live in the southern hemisphere. It's logical if you think that both China and India are in the northern hemisphere, as well as Europe and North America. Yeah. 11% of the human population lives south of the equator. 89% of the human population lives north of the equator. Spain is in the northern hemisphere. Spain is north of the equator. All right. And the biggest country in the world in population is now India, 1.4 billion. It's in the northern hemisphere. All of India is in the northern hemisphere. All of China, 1.3 billion, is in the northern hemisphere. The United States and Canada together, United States, Canada, and Mexico together is 500 million people. Half a billion people in the northern hemisphere. All of Europe. And Europe and Russia, 600-700 million people is in the northern hemisphere. Now, what's the most important country in the southern hemisphere? The most important country in population, the largest country in population in the southern hemisphere is Indonesia. How many people are there in Indonesia? The lo diré 80,000 veces, population, y la gente seguirá diciendo population. Population. Da igual, puedo decirlo 87 millones de veces. Y no entra. People say population. Pew. Communication también, Dios mío. Conozco 80,000 telecos en este país, ingenieros de telecomunicación. Todos dicen telecommunication. No, telecommute. Todos muda, no todos muda. Mu. Telecommunication. Pero nada. Oídos sordos. Population and communication. All right. Population. The population of Indonesia is almost 300 million people. Indonesia is catching up. The United States is growing. Spain isn't growing. Spain is importing people from Africa and from South America and from Romania, etc. Spain is importing people to pay your future pension. Marta's pension. My pension? No, I'm receiving my pension now. But who is going to pay Marta's pension? Yes, because when Marta retires in 30 years, 25, I don't know, there aren't going to be enough people to pay her pension, so Spain is forced to import people if Spain wants to continue paying pensions to retired workers. Yeah, so it's a dilemma, all right, because Spanish women are not having babies. 1.1, creo, para las mujeres autóctonas, las españolas. 1.2 or 1.1. It's simply not enough. But that's a different debate and a different controversy and a different subject. All right. In this case, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, the largest country in the southern hemisphere is Indonesia in population, 290 million people. Now, the second largest is Brazil. Most of Brazil is in the southern hemisphere. The equator passes through northern Brazil in the Amazon River area. But most of Brazil, the big cities, Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Santos, and Bahia, Salvador de Bahia, and many others, and Brasilia, are located in the southern hemisphere. So the bulk of the Brazilian population, 220 millones, the bulk of the Brazilian population is in the southern hemisphere. Bulk, escrito bulk, como el increíble Hulk, pero con B. The incredible bulk. Y es el grueso. The bulk live in the southern hemisphere. Also, we have, of course, Argentina. 45 million people is in the southern hemisphere. Chile, Peru, part of Ecuador, yes. Uruguay, Paraguay, etc. And of course, the Congo, South Africa. There are many countries in the southern hemisphere, important countries, yes. But the bulk of the human population, 89%, live in the northern hemisphere. All right, so only 11% of the people live in the southern hemisphere. It's logical if you think that both China and India are in the northern hemisphere, as well as Europe and North America. Dos cosas aquí interesantes, gramaticales. Lo cual, espera. Es lógico si piensas que tanto China como la India, tanto China como India, both China and India, both China and India, both and, tanto este libro como estos otros, both this book and those, tanto mi mano derecha como mi mano izquierda tiene 5 dedos cada uno. Both my left hand and my right hand have 5 fingers, which is not true. 4 fingers and 1 thumb. All right, 1 thumb, both and. Y luego así como Europa y América del Norte, as well as. Only 11% of the people live in the southern hemisphere. It's logical, logical, it's logical if you think that both China and India are in the southern northern hemisphere, así como, as well as, también como, as well as Europe and North America. Europe, and North America. All right, yes. Lo de la bicicleta antes, we were talking about the bicycle. To get it repaired, to have it repaired. To get it repaired and to have it repaired. Voy al salón de uñas para que I'm going to have my nails done. Not true. There are 3,000 nail salons in this city. So it's 3,000. All right. Yes. I'm going to have my nails done. Así se dice. Voy a tener mis uñas hechas. I'm going to have my hair done. Yeah. I'm going to the hairdresser to have my hair done. I'm going to the barber to have my hair cut. Voy al barbero para tener mi pelo cortado. Así se dice en inglés. I'm going to go to the barbershop. The barbershop, solemos decir shop. I'm going to go to the barbershop to have my hair done, to have my hair cut. To have my hair done, no. To have my hair cut. Or to get a haircut. Yes. I'm going to have my house painted. Voy a pintar la casa, ya verás. ¿Te va a gustar? I'm going to have my house painted. So voy a tener mi casa pintada. I'm going to paint my house. Significa voy a pintarlo yo. Okay. En español no. Dices, voy a pintar la casa. Oh, pues mucho rojo. Bueno, voy a encargarlo a un pintor, claro. Pero decís voy a pintar la casa aunque estés pensando en encargarlo, claro. En inglés no. I'm going to paint my house means I'm going to do it myself. If you're going to hire the services of a painter, which I'm going to have my house painted. I'm going to have my house painted. Or I'm going to have a painter paint my house. Voy a tener un pintor pintar mi casa. Suena raro. I'm going to have a painter paint my... Yeah, I'm going to have... Look. This table is dirty. It's polvo. There's dust. Marta, there's dust on this table. I'm not going to clean it myself. I'm going to have Marta clean it. Yeah, I'm the boss here. I'm going to have her. I'm going to have Marta clean this table. All right? Yeah. I mean, this table has to be cleaned. Somebody has to clean it. And I'm not going to do it. That's not on my job description. You know, my job description doesn't include cleaning the table. My job description includes teaching English on television, but not cleaning the table. So I'm going to have Marta do it. But Marta's not going to do it. She's going to have the cleaning lady do it. She's going to open the door and say, Rosie, can you come here and clean the table? And Rosie will come. Yeah. Rosie's incredible. Rosie has been working here since 1996. 28 años. Rosie. Yeah. She's parte mobiliario. Okay? She's part of the furniture. Rosie. Fantastic lady. Incredible. I remember once a person gave me a bottle of wine in a bag. Esas bolsas delgadas para vinos. And I took it to my office, y la parte inferior, the bottom fell out, boom! And the bottle fell on the carpet. Moqueta. In mi despacho. I said, my God. And I went, where's Rosie? She came and she, in 5 minutes, it was perfect. Rosie is a magician. See you tomorrow.